and welcome to On the Hook Crochet, where we find out what's on the hook today. Today is a planning day, and I'm going to show you several patterns and some yarn that I have assigned to those patterns for projects. And these are really for late summer, but I did a video yesterday about some upcoming patterns that I'm making for summer tops, and I'm starting to pare down on that and starting to plan my fall and winter projects. So I already have some in the works. They're in my craft room, but I'm adding to them because I have bought a lot of yarn, as y'all know. We all love our yarn, and I really want to assign the yarn to a project. Even if I change my mind later, I do have something that I can do with it. If I just want to start a project, I'll have it ready to go. So I also, another reason is I have this YouTube channel, and people are always asking me, what can I do with this yarn or that yarn? And I spend my time, a lot of it, besides crocheting, I spend my time on the web looking at patterns and analyzing to see if there's something that I could make and get done with. I'm not a big fan of tiny hooks and tiny yarn. I will do it occasionally, but H is really almost too small for me. I really prefer an I or larger hook so that I can move through my projects, get them done, get them shown to y'all, and start a new project. And as you know, I usually have a lot of whips in progress, mostly because I have this channel, but I try to keep track of them on my whiteboard on the other side of my camera. And I will have to add these to that list, which will make it probably, well, these won't be works in progress. I'm sorry, these are planned works. These are not works in progress. I have not started these yet, but this is the planning that I'm doing for late summer and early fall. So let's get started on that. The first pattern that I came across was called the Seamstress top. Don't know why it's called that. I really don't. There's a little bit of sewing to it as far as putting the pieces together, but it's not ridiculous or anything. But I did like the way it curves down in the back, but it doesn't come down in a point. It's actually made just as a little dip in the back, a little up in the front. So I thought that was a cute look. It's got a V-neck, very simple, no collar, and 3/4 sleeves. And I was trying to plan what I would do with this yarn, and this is King Cole Splash double knitting. That's the size that she calls for here, and I'm not sure I love it, but I've got a lot of it. I have like 4 balls, and each ball has well, this is called Frappuccino, and each ball has 320 yards. So that's, you know, 1,400 yards that I have of this. It's very, very soft. It has almost no halo, and it's made of 100% acrylic. So you can throw it in the wash machine, or, I mean, it's not a delicate yarn, but I bought it because it was on sale, and I kind of liked it. I liked it better on the web, but I think once I start crocheting with it, I will probably like it better. It does have rust, off-white, and a little bit of a brown or taffy color mixed in together, and it might be a little bit stripy, I don't know, but I'll have to start on this probably late summer and see where it goes. I might have picked a good pattern for it, I don't know. Sometimes you just don't know until you start crocheting, and then you go, I'm never going to wear that, or I really love it, let's finish it. So that's the first project that I have in my queue. The second project I found, a Wander's Wrap crochet pattern. And by the way, the Seamstress pattern, I believe, is a paid pattern by Hooked on Tilly. I apologize if I didn't say that. Hooked on Tilly is the website, and I believe I paid for this. So you might have to pay a few dollars for it if you want to go get it. Now, the second project is the Wander's Wrap crochet pattern, Wanders, W-A-N-D-E-R-S, Wander's Wrap, by Mama in a Stitch. I did pay for this, but I thought it was quite beautiful. I'm not wild about the fringe. I probably won't do that. I might do some other kind of fringe on there, but I don't like those too much. But I do like the shape of it. It's a stole. It is not a triangle. so it's different, and it would really not be probably that practical for summer wear. So I have assigned it the Comfy Cotton Blend Driftwood color because I think it's actually made in that. Yes, it is made in this exact yarn, and I love to get a pattern where I have the actual yarn that goes with it. And I already had this in my stash. I have 2 of these because I bought them to make the Johnny Topper #2 in, and I frogged it out and decided I wasn't doing that. So I still love, love, love these colors. Blue and brown are some of my favorites together. Green is my favorite color, but blue and brown together make a nice combination, and they look so great with blue jeans. I just love to wear sweaters and blue jeans in the wintertime, and maybe an off-white turtleneck under this or something, so that might look really, really nice. But I saw this pattern and I thought, I really like that. And I've looked at the directions, and some of the rows are in different stitches, so it gives it quite a bit of interest, but not so much where you're laboring looking at every stitch in every single row. I don't like that. I think that's distracting for me because I'm not always in a hurry, but I don't want to belabor something that, you know, could be much easier. So I'm going to make this wrap with this yarn, and I have plenty to do it with. It's already in the bag, so it's ready to go. The third project I have is called Night Moves, and Fiber Spider did a tutorial on this. I love his tutorials. They're very patient with us. He doesn't get in a hurry, and I love the way he talks. And so I was on his website. He had done a tutorial for Night Moves, this scarf it's called, and it's really quite beautiful. It's a free pattern, so I went right out and got it, and I watched some of his tutorial, and it looked very, very easy. So I would recommend that you look at his tutorial. If you want to just make it along with him, he goes all the way through it. It's really cute, and it's not hard to make at all. So I just thought it was a pretty nice pattern, and it looked very, very simple. He said it was simple. I believe him because he's not one to use a lot of complicated patterns either. So there's on the back a chart. If you're a chart person, knock yourself out. I am not a chart person. Maybe eventually I will be, but I don't really care about charts. I would rather read the pattern. So this has both in case you're a chart person or a reader person. This will work great. This calls for 450 yards of fingering weight and an H hook. One thing I would like to say also, the Night Moves pattern, I will look it up and I will put the link to it down in the description box because I don't have the name of the person that actually designed this pattern. Fiber Spider just did the tutorial. He did not write the pattern. But I also have wool that I got at the Fiber Arts Festival in Townsend, and it is quite gorgeous. It's purple and gray, and you have actually seen this in a previous video, but I didn't have anything to pair it with. But I think this pattern would look beautiful in this yarn. Because he raved about how easy it was, I'm going to take his word and maybe it'll be easy. Another project that I am considering doing, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to, is this particular yarn that I bought at the Fiber Festival. I bought it from a place called Yarn and Y'all, and it was in a video that I showed you earlier this season. And right after I got back from the Yarn Festival, I was really excited about this. I'm not extremely excited about it now, but I do like it, and I'm going to use it. So what I plan to do is put this in a cake and take another look at it. But there are enough yards on here. There are 510 yards on here. So that's enough to make a new pattern that I bought last night. It was just released yesterday from Holly of the Proper Pineapple. She's released a new pattern called the Armor Shawl. It is very gorgeous, and it is something different. It is made in a triangle, but right here on the long end, she's decreased a little bit so that if you wear it like I do, with the point in the front, then that doesn't come up as high. A comfortable feel when you wrap it around your neck. Now, she's wearing it that way. That's the way I would plan to wear it. And she's got very, very long ends on here. And I do have enough yarn to make the shawl. I do have enough. And her stitches look like they're very, very easy to do. I looked at the pattern. It's done in large print. It's much easier to read than some that I've had. And it was probably 7 or 8 pages. But the print is very large, and I like that because it just makes life easier when you're trying to follow a pattern. And the rows are, and the row counts are on the rows. I love that. That way you can make sure that you're not messing things up until 10 rows later and you go, whoa, I'm 10 stitches too short. So that's another nice thing that Holly's done here. So it was well worth the money that I paid for it to order it last night, right after she announced it. So I'm really excited about this. I hope that this yarn looks good in this pattern. If I see that it's not going to work out, I might stop and do it in a solid, because that's what she's done here. She has beautiful solid, that actually the picture is almost like a purple, but the camera doesn't do it justice. It's also got a very simple edging, which I like. I don't like all that craziness on an edging. I like things that are just a little less overstated. And so I really, really like that. I like everything about the pattern. There's some interest there, but it's not an advanced pattern where you would have to, do research before you could finish it. I don't really like doing that. So that is the final pattern that I've come up with, but this is enough yarn to do the Armor Shawl. So I think I'm going to stick with this. I'll probably start out with it anyway and see how it works out. But Holly's done a very beautiful job on her pattern, and kudos to Holly for that, because I like things that are different, that are simple, and that are easy to read. So it covered all 3 of those bases. So that's a little planning that I'm doing for late summer, early fall. So that's like a part 2 from the video from yesterday. So I will see you soon. And check back with me to find out what's on the hook.